Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Unstoppable Denominators channel. I am the Unstoppable Denominator, bringing you guys another results here on this channel. So we have No Surrender 2022 full results. The Stars of Impact will show No Surrender live from the Alario Center in New Orleans, LA. The action begins on the countdown to No Surrender. X Division champion Trey Miguel versus Skyler. Reigning X Division champion Trey Miguel returns to action tonight as he faces off against the poised newcomer Skyler. Trey's momentum is brought to an abrupt halt with a spear from Skyler. Following a Tiger Bomb, Skyler locks in a Boston Crab to continue wearing Trey down. Trey hits Enzuigiri to create separation and regain composure. Trey hits a missile dropkick, then soars over the top rope to the floor with a senton. Trey hits his signature Meteor to score the victory. X Division champion Trey Miguel defeats Skyler. Gio Miller interviews Team Impact comprised to Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, Rhino, and Steve Macklin ahead of their high-stakes showdown against Honor No More. Tonight, Team Impact is on the same page as they look to send Honor No More packing. Tenille Dashwood with The Influence, Madison Rain, and Caleb with the K versus Havok with Rosemary. Dashwood delivers a boot to the face and retreats to the outside for a breather. Caleb distracts the referee, allowing Dashwood and Rain to double team Havok on the ropes. Dashwood hits a series of running crossbodies for 2. Moments later, Dashwood hits a top rope crossbody for a near fall. Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, The Inspiration, called Caleb with a K on his phone. Havok capitalized off the distraction with a tombstone piledriver to win. Havok with Rosemary defeats Tenille Dashwood with The Influence, Madison Rain, and Caleb with a K. No Surrender is on the air. Chris Bay versus Ace Austin with Mad Fulton with Jake Something versus Mike Bailey X Division Championship #1 contenders match. The winner of this match will earn a future X Division title opportunity against Trey Miguel. Jake suplexes Bailey over the top rope to the floor. Jake soars through the air, crashing into everyone on the outside. Bay uses Jake's back as a launch pad as he drop kicks Bailey off the apron. Bailey is next to fly, hitting a top rope moonsault to the floor. Bay spikes Jake with a poison Rana for 2. Bay hits a huge frog splash, but Austin breaks the pin. Bay connects with the Art of Finesse on Bailey. Jake catches Austin with a mid-air into the void to win the match and become the #1 contender for the X Division title. Jake Something defeats Ice Austin, Chris Bay, and Mike Bailey X Division Championship #1 contenders match. Eric Young delivers one final message to Jay White ahead of their first time ever matchup tonight. Young calls himself the best all-around professional wrestling this business has ever seen. Joan versus Black Taurus. Joan collides with Black Taurus. In this Hoss fight, Joan swats Taurus out of midair, sending him to the outside. Taurus drives Joan into the ring, to the steel ring post, then dives to the floor to take control. Joan hits back-to-back press slams on one into the corner turnbuckles and one into the mat. Taurus begins to build momentum with a reverse sling blade, followed by a crucifix bomb for 2. Taurus flies with a top rope twisting senton for another near fall. Joan hits a thunderous powerbomb followed by a clothesline. Joan finishes off Taurus with the tsunami splash for 3. Joan defeats Black Taurus. Ace Austin and Man Fulton confront Jake Something and X Division champion Trey Miguel in the back after Jake became the number 1 contender for the X Division title earlier tonight. Ace Austin tells Jake that he got lucky tonight, leading to the challenge being laid out by Trey Miguel for a tag team match this Thursday on Impact. Eric Young versus Jay White. The leaders of Violent by Design and Bullet Club go one-on-one to determine who is superior. Once and for all, White gains control in an early going with a high back body drop. Young turns the tide by whipping White shoulder first into the middle turnbuckle. White hits a DDT followed by a twisting suplex for 2. White talks trash in the corner, allowing Young to gain momentum with a DDT of his own. Young hits a high-impact driver to remain in control. Young bites him on the forehead, then delivers a top rope elbow drop for 2. Both men take turns raking each other's eyes, but White gains the upper hand with a pile driver on the apron. Young covers White with his feet on the ropes, but he's still able to kick out. White hits the Blade Runner to score the victory. Jay White defeats Eric Young. Ace Austin continues to pursue a friendship with Mike Bailey and ask him to be his partner against X Division champion Trey Miguel and Jake Something this Thursday on Impact. Austin tells Bailey that neither Trey nor Jake respect him, promoting Bailey to accept his offer. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Triple A Rihanna's champion Deonna Purrazzo versus Miranda Alize champ challenge for the Ring of Honor World Championship title. The Lucha Baby Miranda Alize answers Deonna Purrazzo's champ challenge and chooses to challenge for the Ring of Honor Women's World title. Alize dives under the middle ropes, colliding with Perazza on the outside. Perazza shuts down Alize momentum with a big boot. Alize plants her face first into the mat with a modified spike Rana. Alize hits a series of forearms in the corner, followed by a running boot for 2. Alize locks in the Miranda rights, but Perazza fights out of it. Perazza avoids the Shining Wizard, then forces Alize to submit to the Fojara armbar. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion and Triple A Rihanna's champion Deonna Purrazzo defeats Miranda Alize champ challenge for the Ring of Honor Women's World title. Gia Miller interviews Chapel Hart, who sang the national anthem earlier tonight at No Surrender. Knockouts World Champion Mickie James tells Chelsea Green that after she defeats Tasha Steelz tonight, she's going to give Green the next opportunity at her title. Digital Media Champion Matt Cardona versus Jordynne Grace Digital Media Championship. After Matt Cardona won the Digital Media title at controversial fashion, Jordynne Grace gets her rematch right here, right now. Grace rolls up Cardona for a near fall for an early 2 count just moments into the match. Grace puts her strength on display as she lifts Cardona with ease for a vertical suplex. Cardona uses the referee as a shield, giving him an opening to gain control. Cardona hits a suplex into the corner turnbuckles. Grace comes back with a huge spinebuster for 2. Cardona hits the reboots but it's not enough to keep Grace down. Cardona is about to use a steel chair, but Grace delivers a low blow, awarding the victory to Cardona by disqualification. Digital Media Champion Matt Cardona versus Jordynne Grace by disqualification. Digital Media Championship. After the bell, Grace assaults Cardona with the chair, forcing him to retreat. Gia Miller is interviewing the #1 contender for the Knockouts World title, Tasha Steelz, when it's discovered that Eddie Edwards has been laid out backstage. Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers versus G.O.D, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Lua. Impact World Tag Team Championships. 2 generations of the Bullet Club explode in the history. First time ever matchup for the Impact World Tag Team titles. G.O.D jumpstart the match as they charge at the Good Brothers to kick things off. The action spills to the outside and a wild brawl erupts. Gallows hits Tama Tonga with a powerful pump handle slam. Tama Tonga clotheslines Anderson, allowing him to tag in Tonga Loa. G.O.D connects with a double team neckbreaker, but Gallows breaks the pin just in time. Anderson hits a precious neckbreaker on Tama Tonga for 2. The Good Brothers deliver double team offense of their own. Tama Tonga soars with a top rope splash to Anderson. Chris Bay comes down to the ringside as Gallows chokeslams Tonga Lua on the floor. Jay White sneaks up behind Tama Tonga and hits him with a blade runner. The Good Brothers capitalize with the Magic Killer to retain the Impact World Tag Team titles in a shocking turn of events. Impact World Tag Team champions, the Good Brothers, defeats G.O.D, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Lua. Impact World Tag Team Championships. Jay White and Chris Bay celebrate with the Good Brothers as it appears that a new Bullet Club has been formed. Knockouts World Champion Mickie James versus Tasha Steelz with Savannah Evans. Knockouts World Championship. Mickie James puts the Knockouts World title on the line against the winner of the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. Tasha Steelz. Mickie James hits a running boot to gain control in the early going. Tasha turns the tide with a springboard dropkick that sends her to the floor. Tasha calls out Mickie's husband through the camera, but that only fires Mickie James up, who hits her with a neckbreaker. Tasha distracts the referee, allowing Evans to get involved and throw Mickie into the steel ring post. Tasha hits a bicycle kick for 2. The momentum shifts as Mickie bites Tasha and hits a top rope thieves press for 2. Chelsea Green evens the odds for Mickie as she takes out Evans on the apron. Mickie sends Tasha crashing into Green. The scorer then scores the pinfall to retain the Knockouts World title. Knockouts World Champion Mickie James defeats Tasha Steelz with Savannah Evans Knockouts World Championship. Rich Swann reveals that Dr. Ross has not medically cleared Eddie Edwards to compete tonight, following his attack at the hands of an unknown assailtant. Swann introduces him as longtime friend and tag team partner as Eddie Edwards' replacement, Willie Mack. Impact World Champion Moose versus W. Morrissey Impact World Championship. W. Morrissey challenges Moose one-on-one for the Impact World title in a clash of titans. Brian Myers, who has had his issues with Morrissey in recent weeks, joins Tom Haffen and Matthew Rowlett on commentary. Moose has not one but 2 spears in the first few minutes of the match. Morrissey avoids the third spear and connects with a big boot. Morrissey hits a thunderous BQE powerbomb, but Moose rolls to the outside. Morrissey Irish whips him into the steel guardrail. Moose sends Morrissey crashing through the timekeeper's table with vicious Uranagi. It's not enough to keep him down as Morrissey comes back with another BQE, this time on the apron. Morrissey counters another BQE attempt in her Cardona. Moose connects with yet another spear, but Morrissey gets his arm under the bottom rope. Morrissey hits another BQE, and this time it's Moose who puts his foot under the bottom rope to break the pin. A few moments later, Moose hits one final spear to retain Impact World title. Impact World Champion Moose defeats W. Morrissey Impact World Championship. Team Impact Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Chris Sabin, Rhino, and Steve Maclin versus Honor No More, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Kenny King, Vincent, and PCO. If Team Impact wins, Honor No More must leave Impact Wrestling. Team Impact battles Honor No More in a high-stakes showdown where if Team Impact wins, Honor No More must leave Impact Wrestling for good. As the battle lines are drawn, Vincent takes a cheap shot at Maclin to jumpstart the match. Rhino and PCO exchange strikes in the middle of the ring, with Rhino gaining the upper hand following a clothesline, and the pace quickens as Willie hits King with an explosive drop kick. Maclin hits King with a pinpoint backbreaker. Sabin joins the fray as he and Maclin join forces for tandem offense. Maria provides a distraction from the outside, allowing Taven to capitalize with just the tip of Sabin. Moments later, Sabin takes out both Taven and Bennett with a drop kick DDT combo. Swann picks Taven off the top with a head scissors. Honor No More catch Swann in midair as Vincent soars with a leg drop to the outside. Taven hits a blue thunder bomb on Swann, but his partner, Willie Mack, breaks the pin. Swann sidesteps a charging PCO, causing him to crash and burn on the exposed floor. Rich Swann and Willie Mack join forces for a top rope swinging neckbreaker on Bennett. PCO hits a chokeslam on Maclin, followed by a leg drop from the top rope. King sends Maclin into the referee. King, Sabin, Taven, and Swann take to the skies with a jaw-dropping aerial offense. PCO hits the Deaminator on Rich Swann, Willie Mack, followed by Red Rum from Vincent. PCO flies once again, hitting the PCO salt to the outside. Eddie Edwards hits the ring, but in the ultimate betrayal, turns his back on Team Impact and attacks them with his kendo stick. King crawls to the pin, and the referee count to 3, awarding the victory to Honor No More. Honor No More, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Kenny King, Vincent, and PCO defeats Team Impact, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Chris Sabin, Rhino, and Steve Maclin. If Team Impact wins, Honor No More must leave Impact Wrestling, which never happened thanks to Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards stands along Honor No More as the reality begins to sink in that Honor No More will now be allowed to remain in Impact Wrestling thanks to Eddie Edwards. No Surrender goes off the air. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that we do not miss an upload here on the show. and I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw results. And I'm out.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Skiz here. And if you don't subscribe to Buon and the Unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy ass bitch motherfucker.